Gotta play.
Love it.
Hey. Right.
What's going on, you guys?
Thank you, John.
Dude, that was great, man.
I forgot. I don't remember the tapping part.
Right on. All right. Welcome. It is Wednesday night. Halenville Live. April 20th. You know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean today, Tommy?
420.
The day before 421.
Yeah. It means 2 years ago, ESPN and Netflix debuted the Last Dance Jordan documentary.
There
That's
you
what
go.
it means.
There you go.
Yes, it is April the 20th. Hope everyone's doing good. Nice to see everybody. It's been a big week newsworthy in the Halen world, and we'll get into all of that goodness. But yeah, Neil, Charles, John, Tommy, good to see you guys, man.
Good to see you guys too. Man.
Yeah. It's good to be back, man. Lots of stuff going on, but I think we should start by just thanking again our guests from last week and all the people. Like, we had tremendous support in the chat that were live, and then people that caught up with it on the replay. I know personally, I got messages all week long saying that it was our best show yet. It was just fantastic to be a part of. For Tony, you putting it together, John moderating it, the guests, I can't thank them enough. It was, and most importantly, the people that tuned in live. That was so much fun.
Yeah, and Sandra.
And Sandra, obviously.
And Sandra.
Yeah, big hand and
obviously, yeah.
And we got more of that coming too. We got more coming too in the next few weeks.
More.
Right on.
We're gonna have we got a good stretch coming up here, everybody.
Yep. More Tony Thong stories.
Oh, I saw that. I did. Don't think I didn't see that. I saw that. All right. But yeah, thanks to everybody last week for who participated. That was super fun. That was super fun. Thanks to Dave, and Rob, and Donnie. And everybody showed up, dude. Everybody. Yeah.
Chris Locke, Hubbard jumped in late. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Right. So it was nice that everybody showed up. It's tough to get a bunch of people in one place at one time. But yeah, thanks, guys. It was fun.
Best show.
Absolutely. So it's been some crazy news in the Van Halen world. It started earlier in the week with Jason Newstead. And I
thought it was a joke originally.
So did I. I didn't think that.
I
When I heard Satriani, then I knew it was real.
Yeah, I think Keith Campbell first referenced it to me like almost a full week ago, and he said that he was going to look into it and see if it was real. And when he sent me a link I just laughed out loud.
You're right.
And then
Peak
as the
was the
week
first
kind of
one.
as the week kind of progressed, I was like, wait a minute, seriously? Now everybody's talking about this, and then there's traction, and then David Lee Roth issued a statement. I was like, okay, here we go.
It's a party.
All right. I'm going to try to navigate this while we're live here. But yeah, so David Lee Roth chimes in on rumored Van Halen celebration tour. And the Van Halen news desk reached out to David Lee Roth about new rumors that there are some behind the scenes discussions contemplating the possibility of some sort of tour celebrating Van Halen's legacy. But before that, Joe Satriani says he's been in talks with Alex Van Halen and David Lee Roth about a possible Eddie Van Halen tribute tour. I've been talking with Alex and Dave for about a year about doing a tour, something like that. That was going to be a true tribute to Eddie and the Van Halen legacy, said Satriani in a recent appearance on the Rockin' Nations and Dave Kitchen podcast. For me, it was a terrifying prospect doing something like that, but realized that it would be a real labor of love for me. It was just so honored to take on the challenge. But that was just shortly after the former Metallica bassist Jason Newstead that he had been contacted by Alex 6 months regarding a possible Van Halen tour. Agreed to go to California to meet up with the guys in Jam, but declined the offer, adding it would be impossible to do justice to the legacy. Etc. How could you, he says. But, Jason Newstead let the cat out of the bag, and maybe he shouldn't have, and however indirect it was, it's blown up, of course. And they asked Satch, and then they asked Dave.
Satriani's response was kind of, like surprised that Jason said what he said, but then he's like, well, it's out now, so I'll comment on it. But his initial reaction was, that kind of stuff in the music industry, you just don't talk about because you don't, those things, 9 out of 10 don't pan out the way you think they're gonna, or the way they initially plan them, that kind of thing. So it was, now they're all talking about it.
I don't know, Neil, if they're actually going to ever put that together to where it's going to satisfy everybody. I don't think it's possible. My initial thoughts on it were, I didn't really dig it. The initial vibe from it didn't seem true, but I'm just getting a first impression.
Charles, let's let Tony finish. I want to come back to that because I think that's a really good conversation that I want to have with you.
Okay.
But Tony, go ahead and finish the article.
Yeah, there is a little more. Although he made no mention of Sammy Hagar, Michael Anthony, or Gary, Satriani said the plan is to represent the entire Van Halen catalog. All of it. Thought of representing all eras of Van Halen is pretty daunting, he said, just from a guitar player's point of view, etc. Let's read down. Now, when they reached out to Dave, this is what he said. In my mind, Van Halen 4K in the age of COVID is going to require 2 of us for every position. Now, this is David Lee Roth who's talking now, so you definitely have to read between those lines. Satriani and Lukather, Anthony and Newstead, Al or Tommy Lee. And I'm sure he jokingly said,
I think it's a joke.
I don't know.
The only one who could do my job would be Pink.
Look, you guys know how much I love Tommy Lee. I mean, I love that guy, but he is not a Van Halen drummer. I don't get the vibe on that. I don't feel that at all.
Well,
no, Michael, that's ridiculously wrong.
Can I just point out two things here that stand right out in this whole thing? It was hilarious that Dave mentions Mike, but no Sammy, and he goes right for Pink, and that stood out. I'm sure everybody that read that, it was the first thing they noticed there.
Yeah.
Which that was hilarious.
Well,
and,
but where there's Mike, there's Sam usually.
Yeah, no, it's true. But
well, if they're gonna do the whole catalog, then my goodness, they gotta bring Sammy along.
Yeah.
They got to. What's Dave gonna sing Sammy stuff? He's not gonna do it. He can't.
Dave can barely sing his own stuff right now.
Thank you very much. I wasn't going to go quite there, but
yeah. Well, let's be honest. Let's be honest.
You know,
I really think it's threading a needle here to try to get this thing to actually. I'll be honest with you. I'm dead set against it because I would go to that thing and I would leave there and I would feel sick to my stomach that Eddie Van Halen is dead, and I'm going to see basically it's even though it's a tribute and it might be well intentioned. I'm going to leave there with an empty feeling, like depressed, like the day I was when he died. That's what I'm going to feel
absolutely
like.
Right.
I really don't. You know.
Well, John, first of all, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I have different reasons why. But second of all, I have a hunch that this thing would never work and never get together and get off the ground, which is kind of why I think Satriani's saying, why did Jason Newstead even talk about this? Because realistically, this probably will never happen. And then what's the point of throwing this out there?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's a good point. Hey, before we do anything, how about a roll call? Sandra's calling for the roll call.
You want me to do roll call? I'll do roll call.
Go for it, Charles. Go for it, dude.
Good enough. I'm going from the bottom to the top, people. We got Dan in New Jersey. Dan, my man. Brendan B. Squared. Love you, Brendan. Sandra, how are you, sweetheart? Keith Campbell, my rocker buddy. Tim Thomas.
Tim.
Right on, Tim. Papa Blue. It's good to see you, Papa. Blue. Let me see. Scrolling up. Sir Simon Hosford. How are you, my
brother? Hey, my man. My brother from down under.
Man. My man. Okay. Here we go. We've got the Axe. He won some cool merch. On the last show. We got Mike Rogers. It's nice to see you, Mike. Jerry Leica. Jerry before. Hey, good to see you, my man. And we got Ed Briel. It's good to see you, Mr. Ed. I love it. Right here. And I can say
how's Boston doing right now?
Ed. From memory. We got Jay Turner, man. It's good to see you, Jay. Mike Rogers. It's good to see you, Mike. And scroll. Hey, the 5150 show. Andrew. It's good to see you, my man. Brad. It's good to see both you guys.
Right on.
Let's see who else we got here. We got Gearhead. It's good to see you. That's a new name to me, you guys. Nice to see you, my man.
Welcome.
Yeah,
welcome. Jay Turner, nice to see you. Jay lives near me, and he is in Main Street. He plays bass in Main Street.
That's right. Hey, it's nice to see you, my man. Yeah. Welcome.
Hey, since Simon's in the chat, I want to point out too, he dropped a new promo for his show coming up a month from now. And you guys go, it's on his individual YouTube page, Simon Hosford. So everybody, if you want to see a really good 6-minute kind of montage of everything they're going to do for his Corner Hotel show, check it out.
If you want your fur to rise,
right?
The very end of it, it's just so cool, man.
Dude,
it'll get the fur rising.
Yeah. So check it out. Make sure you check it out because that show is going to be insane.
Excellent. Hey, we've also got Robert Ranford. It's good to see you, Robert. And let me see here. A couple of new names here in the chat. I love it when there's new names. And let me see. Hey, Nightbot. It's good to see you. And Guitar Man 45, it's good to see you, my brother. Let me see here.
If you're lurking, say hi.
Yeah, say hello. Janice, good to see Janice Lala. And
got a lot of people tuning in tonight.
Darn right.
This is good. Good stuff.
Ollie Lewis, good to see you, sweetheart.
Ali.
And boom, boom. Okay, I think that's about everybody.
Everybody wants some in the house.
Oh, shoot. I'm going to go back to
Everybody
the
wants.
bottom. It's good to see you, man.
Nice.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
ready.
Yeah,
Eddie is in the house, people.
Nice. Right on,
those
man.
guys will be here soon.
I think that's everybody.
Everybody wants some. Yeah, we're gonna round all those guys up right here in just a few weeks. Nice to see you, Joe.
Yeah.
Watch your profanity.
Oh, Christopher Live Sour also in the chat. It's good to see you, Christopher.
Hey, Chris.
Welcome. We're gonna do some Van Halen trivia, which I didn't get to show the guys tonight.
Welcome. We're going.
Oh, my bad.
And we're gonna jockey for a fair warning pass tonight in some trivia. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, with that said, getting back to what we were talking about with this is what I think is happening. I think that in the past year or so, that they've talked about putting together a tribute show and inviting a lot of guests. I'm sure that everybody will be involved. If they can put together the kitchen sink tour and keep that under wraps, then surely if that they can do this. But I think it's going to be a show or a series of shows with a lot of guests. And
Watch your profanity.
they'll
Tommy.
they'll be doing
Watch your
Van
profanity.
Halen stuff, I'm sure, but I do think that Sam and Mike and Gary and Wolf and everybody, if this happens, as you said, Neil, but that is, I don't think they can do much more than that. They're old guys, you know.
I'm pretty sure
I
Sammy
hope they're
said
doing
not
well, but
very long ago that he hadn't spoken to Alex since Eddie passed away. So, I mean, you can read into that what you want, but I mean, that's kind of, no any kind of contact. And I think, Sammy actually verbalized it. Keith, you might know something about that in the chat, but I thought that was kind of strange. And Mike hadn't had any contact with him either. And, and by the way, guys, somebody asked Michael Anthony today if he, would consider writing a book. And he said he would, but he said it's not going to be like any dirt from the road. He goes, that's band stuff and that's going to stay there. But he may talk about, a lot of the personal interactions, the good times and the bad times. And, I feel there's got to be some kind of deep-seated bitterness in there because, I always go back to if Sammy knew Eddie was very ill, terminally ill with cancer, and he reached out to him. Mike never reached out. So, I mean, there must be something, maybe deeper there that and Mike, he doesn't, he might not even talk about that in his book, but if he does a book, but, there might be something to that there. He just carries the flag and, and the legacy of Van Halen. He wants to keep it intact, which in a way, I don't want him to write a book because of that, just because I don't want this tour to really happen because I don't, it would have to, this tour thing it's like threading a needle to get it right where it hits on all the marks and it doesn't make you leave there bummed out. You know what I mean? You want to leave there kind of happy and exhilarated, kind of like I feel like with Simon's thing. I'm pumped for that. I'm excited for that because that's just a celebration type of thing like that. I don't want to see, Joe Satriani going up there trying to duplicate Eddie Van Halen. I just don't,
I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a big show with a lot of guests that are coming on and off stage and a fair amount of downtime, maybe a fair amount of talking. and a long 3.5 hour incredible. That's what I think.
Tony, that's what
it
needs to be. That's what it needs to be. They need to, in different cities, they should have different people come up. Eddie loved Tori Amos. How about you have Tori Amos come up and do a piano version of, Dreams or something, like just not the arrangement, the Van Halen arrangement. These songs are living, breathing songs, and they should live on. Covers, people's own interpretations of them. Just come out there and do a show like that. Do your own thing with Eddie's songs. Obviously, give a nod to Eddie and his techniques and styles and things like that in them, but make it like, a unique show. In every city, there'll be different performers, that come in there and interpret Eddie's work, or,
John, what was really cool? Right before, probably maybe a week or two before I left LA. So this would have been end of January. The Whiskey A Go-Go does a thing. Charles, you probably know about this. They do a jam night, and they all, it's like just a guest star, like not like an open mic night, but they like book all the bands ahead of time. Yeah. But they did a tribute to the music of Van Halen, and it was such a celebration of it. But they probably had, I was there I had to be there about 3 hours. Toshi,
I think it's all on YouTube.
Yeah. Our friend Toshi, who's in Jimmy Kimmel's band, was also, he invited me and let me know about it. And so I went there and saw him play. And but it was really cool. Like each band came on and played maybe 2 songs, sometimes 3. And then they would switch out and then have like maybe one guitarist from one band would come back.
I saw the Bullet Boys.
He did. Yeah. He was there. He did. He actually did a solo song by himself. But they did
Wasn't
their
that guy in David Lee Roth's band at one time, Neil? Yeah. Right.
But they did, like, some people did their interpretations of Van Halen, so it wasn't like the album version of a song. They did all kinds of really cool stuff, but with the revolving door of guests coming up and playing and different singers and different styles and stuff, it really felt like a celebration, as opposed to if one guy went out there and played guitar all night. People, I would feel bad for that guy.
Yeah,
because you're never going to be Van Halen.
No, it's just
right.
It's empty, with like an empty feeling, and I would feel like Eddie just died all over again. It's like it hits you. It's like, oh my God, I don't want, like Joe Satriani, even in the article, he said, Eddie's tone, everything changed so much over the years. I'd have different rigs. No, you don't have to have different rigs, man. You know what I mean? It's just like, don't try to be Eddie. Just go out there and interpret the songs. You want to get up there and jam with Alex and do something like that. But I think if you try to stick to sounding like or duplicating it, it's just, because Eddie was a songwriter. He was a great guitar player and an innovator, but the guy was a songwriter. You know what I mean? And you know what? Yngwie Malmsteen's a great guitar player, but 100 years from now, what Yngwie songs are you going to remember? But Van Halen, you're going to remember the songs. You know what I mean?
Those will stand the test of time.
That's why he was the threat that he was, Eddie, because he could write great songs.
But again, like I say, one person going out there trying to do, like if Alex went on tour with Joe Satriani, people are always going to look at Joe Satriani then as the guy who tried to replace Van Halen. Yeah. Whereas if you just have guests come up and play songs, everything, it doesn't feel like anybody's trying to replace him. It feels like they're paying tribute to him. Yeah. And I think that's the only way to make it work. If they're going to do anything under the moniker of Van Halen, that's the only way to make it work. Now, I've got a whole separate conversation that we can have at another time about, I think if Alex wants to get together with Joe Satriani and do something like change the name, be like AVH.
There you go. There you go. Go another direction.
Or how about just do an album together of all original stuff? Alex says,
that's exactly right.
I'm going to play music till the day I die. Alex always said that.
I hope he does. Yeah,
exactly. Good. That's a good vibe.
Just like Alex Lifeson is doing Alex Lifeson and Rush. He's doing all these outside things project now. He's still playing, Rush is over, Van Halen's over, but we're still musicians. Let's go out and try different combinations. Have fun.
John, agree with you 100%. That's what I hope happens. I hope Alex keeps playing music, but you don't have to call yourself Van Halen anymore.
Exactly.
Look at all the people that start super groups now. That I mean, all these all members of bands, when they break up, join forces again. Like I said, AVH. That could be the name of the band, instead of what Wolfgang's doing with WVH, AVH. Alex can start his own band, choose who he wants, and do original music.
Family. There's nothing wrong with
start
that.
something brand new, man.
That's true. That's true.
I
And people would buy it.
I always wonder if he plays drums every day. I wonder that a lot.
There's a part of me that honestly feels that he has not spent an hour behind the scenes.
I agree.
That was
His
my
brother
thought.
passed away.
That
I don't
was
know
my
why.
thought.
It's hard to believe that because you do it every day, then you just stop. But that's how it is sometimes.
Well, I don't know that. I hope not. Anyway,
I hope not too. I hope
Yeah.
not. And that doesn't
I
mean
hope
that he
not.
can't sit down behind a drum set and in a couple of weeks have it back. I mean,
Well, I think getting it back, having him sit behind a drum set will be okay. He'll be able to pick it up in no time. I think playing in the pocket with somebody else, playing with another guitar player, that's
never going to be the same.
No,
it
I don't
won't.
care
It
how.
won't. And that's
hard they
why
try.
I think he's got to go a new direction.
Yeah. We all want it. We want it. The problem is there's the major element that we need to have it is not there.
Yeah.
And putting that in is
it's a fine line.
searching the world
Fine
to try
line,
to do it, and
Yep.
it's hard. I mean,
But they were so uniquely symbiotic in the way that drummers never sync up with guitar players. Drummers sync up with bass players. That's the way it's always. The percussion, the rhythm section is different, and they broke the mold in that. So now, who does Alex play with that fits that pocket? Every bass player is going to want to. Maybe he has to get together and jam with Michael again.
Yeah, you know what? It's like I always say that it was like they shared a brain, Eddie and Alex.
Yes.
It was like they knew they anticipated where each other was going, and it's like like
Totally.
Wolfgang playing all the instruments on his own album. He was kind of doing that with himself because he knew where
Yeah.
But they did it in a live situation where they'd be up there in the studio just jamming for hours, creating these songs, and they just knew where each other was going. And I don't think you could ever.
In a weird way, Eddie and Alex were like what people say about Siamese twins.
Yeah.
Even though they weren't twins. That's what they were that like this. It was just insane. So
right, exactly.
Yeah, well, they're back with them as a youth and coming over here and a new language. That's a lot for anyone, but so that made them really, really, really tight. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it must have been a very rough couple of years here for Alex. That's why, like Chuck, I agree with you. I don't know how much he's even been behind the drums. I think he just probably said, I'm going to focus on some other interests I have in my life right now because I can't. It's just it must be too tough for him just to because like we said, the one constant in his life was Ed. Every day they probably talked to each other and hung out.
Simon Hosford just posted a very poignant point. And I'll just highlight. I don't know if you want to highlight it, Tony. It says, you notice, I'll just read it. It says, you notice how Ed never even really sounded like himself when he played with someone else. And it wasn't Alex behind the drum kit. He shows up on Letterman. He'll play on Letterman,
SNL. Yeah.
And he'll have his guitar sound, but he doesn't play like Eddie. I like we're used to listening to
West Wall tribute thing when he played with another
vacation
band.
or something,
Yeah.
Great point, Simon. Yeah.
John, going back to the Alex thing, the one I think if he was I had kind of a secret wish list that I hoped happened when I saw Wolfgang play at the Whiskey early in that tour. And I kind of hoped that Alex would have joined him behind the drums for like the last song of the night or something like that, because they were in LA and it was, it was Wolfgang's solo show. He wasn't with Guns at the time. And I kind of thought if Alex was still playing drums, that would have been the time to do it. And the fact that he didn't doesn't mean much. I'm totally, I'm speculating, but that kind of made me feel like I don't think Alex is doing much. I don't think he wants to play drums.
Yeah.
Because I think he would have played with Wolf.
That's why I was totally blindsided. But I thought this when they said Jason Newstead said it. I was just like, nah, that's not real. That can't be. Keith said it. I was like, nah, that can't be real. It's got to be bogus.
I said the same thing.
But if you notice that in Jason's statement, I don't know if you still have it there, Tony. There's something he says in there that's actually pretty key, and I agree with him 100%. He basically said, how can you top? You can't top that. Why would you even do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really is it's like threading a needle to do that thing perfectly, tastefully. That's not going to leave people, feeling bummed when they leave there. And that's how I would feel. So I'm just
Let's say that if they are going to do it, and I mean, they decide Mike has got to be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would want to have both Sammy and Dave, if they're going to cover both catalogs. That's just common sense, in my opinion. And they'd have to have a bunch of guitar players to cover it. I can't see one guy coming out there. Well, I can see him doing it, but it wouldn't have the right vibe. It'd have to be guys at least give a tribute. And I saw something. And don't ever put technology down completely, guys. Because I saw somebody made I'm so sorry, I don't remember their name in the chat, but they made a comment about a hologram, an Eddie hologram. Well, 10 years ago, they did one with Elvis and his old band. It was about 10 years ago. I'm off by a year or two. And it was sort of okay, half okay, kind of. But they're getting really good at it. And they've got tons and tons and tons of concert footage of Eddie, not to mention other footage. And if they could pop a hologram of him somewhere, I mean, I'm in. I'll go. Yeah. And if they could do that and jam with the rest of the band, my God, it'd be the biggest flipping tour in history.
Yeah, I'm leaning. Everything you said, I agree with. Except I still feel like in order to get the singers to collaborate and do it, I feel like it would most likely be a one-off televised show,
right?
Like a single night. I don't think you'll ever get the tour to happen because of the singers. I think a lot of other people would agree to do it, and then the same old problems would come up.
I have to agree.
Right.
But if they scheduled one night, a televised live event, a 3-hour special, hell, it could be pay-per-view for all we care. I mean, I'd buy it, that kind of thing. I think it could work.
Yeah.
I agree. But the other thing is too, is like you're saying, Dave can't sing well anymore. Sammy's tuning down a full step. And you know what?
I know.
Everybody's seen the Bon Jovi videos in the last week. He's 10 years younger, 15 years younger than Sammy. And I watched this and I'm like, what is going on? But
I didn't want to mention this, John. I saw a video of Sammy just last week on YouTube. He's just singing. It's not. I don't even remember where it was. His age is showing. I'd never seen his age show quite that badly.
Yeah, it's showing
and it gave me a whole different perspective on Sammy. And I'm gonna say it right now. You get a chance to see Sammy Hagar, you go see that man.
But
his singing is coming to an end. It just is.
Yeah, but you put the band in a situation where they have to tune down a half step and it plods along like a dinosaur. It just sounds dead. Listen to those Bon Jovi's "Living on a Prayer," which is this upbeat song. It plods along. It just sounds terrible because they have to tune down so low for him. But that said, when I see Sammy, he can't sing. "Dreams" was the hardest song he ever sang. He said it, the highest he ever sang.
Yeah. I was going to say, imagine "Dreams" down a step and a half.
You can't. But wisely,
get to it, Tommy.
Wisely, he does a version of it with Vic. That is, it's a great version. It's just a guitar and him accompanying it. And you know what? It's just like that's the way he should be performing this song now. You know what I mean? A different type of arrangement. You can't don't try to recreate. That just try to make it from today now. You know what I mean?
Agree.
Right.
I mean, let him do it like when Rod Stewart came out and did all the classic crooner songs or something like that. Let Sammy try and do a totally different version of Dreams, a solo piano ballad, slow it down and do something in a different key that doesn't sound like you can't reach the song on the album anymore.
Right. Here you go. Here's what my suggestion would be for something that might work. Like I said, have different people come out here, do different interpretations. Don't try to copy note for note the Van Halen records. Have different singers, even people that are like you're shocked to see, like, wow, a country guy coming out and doing like something like that. And then have a section in the middle of the show.
Brad Paisley could come out and do "Hot for Teacher."
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Exactly. Do something like that. But mix the show up with different personalities doing their interpretations of Eddie's music. And then in one section, whatever city you're in, have a bunch of guitar players, like big hotshot guitar players, come out and then just jam with each other and do Eddie, like trade off like Eddie's, styles and things like that. Just create like a jam, with the Alex maybe playing drums and just do like a live thing where they're having a little duel with Eddie's technique, the techniques that he popularized and invented. Do something like that, original. You know what I mean? With a nod to that.
Or John. Or if we borrow both of our ideas, take everything you just said and bring it back to what I was saying before about doing a single night, a televised show, then Sammy come out and do one song. You don't have to do the whole show.
No,
have it be guest artist the entire night, and then Sammy comes out and sings one song to end it, or something like that, or Dave, or something. They don't have to carry the weight of the tour.
Or maybe Dave is, and Sammy could just grow up enough to come out and shake their hands at the very end. You know what I mean? And do something like, cool like that,
We've been waiting a long time for that.
Something tells me that something tells me they've already got all these details if it's in the works. But yeah, like what John said, I wouldn't be surprised if there is and maybe not these exact people, but a MC for the event, like Tom Morello or Eddie Trunk or something, whatever, to navigate things in the show and have many guests. But I think that if they did that, everyone is going to be there, I think.
Yeah,
Tony, actually, Eddie Trunk did the whiskey jam night with Van Halen that I saw just 2 months ago. He was there and he was kind of the host. So at the whiskey, so it's right. I mean, the template is already there. It's already out there.
You know what? And this could work in different cities with different performers. I mean, you get Irving Azoff involved, their manager. He knows everybody. In the whole industry. Have it set up from city to city. Have different people performing in each city. It could be really done really well. I mean, like with the things we're throwing around right here, tastefully done and it not kind of just like, depressing and just like guys trying to just mimic Eddie up there and just, for 2 hours. It's just,
Well, but I could see that. I'd love to see that. But what I really see happening here is if something happens, it'll probably be 3 nights at the Forum.
Sure.
Or the Staples Center.
Well, and then they can take the best of all 3 nights and put a DVD out, 3 months later.
But I don't think that they're going to put it out on the road, and it'd be great, but I see them being in one place for multi-nights, and that's it.
I'm with Simon. I think go to each city and have, if people are from Chicago or something like that, have somebody from Chicago or New York or whatever, Billy Joel come up there and play Right Now or, something like that.
Oh, that's
fabulous.
Every
that's
city,
actually pretty cool.
And, and everybody's showing their props to Eddie from all these famous stars from different cities, from Nashville, Houston,
cool.
Dallas. You know what I mean?
From Chicago, I could say, you could get Billy Corgan from the Pumpkins and Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick and these, Tommy Shaw from Styx.
How cool would that be?
Get John 5 to do a country version of Running with the Devil.
Yeah, so and Tom, you're right. Mix up artists, put him doing that, and that would be killer.
Yeah,
that would be killer, and it wouldn't be like tacky where it's like people trying to imitate Eddie. It would just be like a fresh take on his genius.
Yeah, play it in their style.
Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea.
But at the same time, I would say in the middle, if you got Steve Vai in town and you got Steve Lukather, have him go out, throw Alex behind the drums, just get a jam going on, and then just do Eddie's styles, his throw like a jam together. The bass player, get Mike out there, maybe that part, and just say, hey, this is the stuff this guy created, these techniques, and let them have a duel back and forth doing Eddie's technique.
Throw Nuno Betancourt out there with Alex. That would work.
Yeah, basically Steve Vai did with Steve Vai. He had I saw them. What was that thing called when they had Zach Wilde? He had Tosin Abasi. Tosin Abasi. I mean, that was incredible. And they all got out there and they just they jammed. They did a Deep Purple. I forget what it was, but it was just killer. You know what I mean? And
I think, John, you're right. I think that would go over 100% better to the 90% of the audience that might not be guitar players.
Right.
It's probably less than that for Van Halen, obviously. Yeah. But I mean, you would get a much broader audience if you did these are some techniques, and they're gonna have a jam now.
Yeah.
Just improvise, but at the very beginning, you get Steve Vai be like, Eddie revolutionize, the guitar, talk about, tapping different things and explain some of the history of it as he's playing it.
Yeah.
And I think for the non-guitar player or even non-musician who just likes Van Halen but doesn't get that deep into it, I think that would pull those people in even more.
Well, if going along that, following down that train of thought, Tom, like make it like a VH1 storytellers type thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be phenomenal.
That would be awesome.
But go from city to city and have different people come out in each city like that, paying tribute from that city to, to Eddie, I think that would be a pretty cool thing to do.
That would be cool.
And when they get to Long Island, John, you can go out on stage.
There you go. I'm in Westchester. I stay off of Long Island.
Unless you're seeing the Mets.
Exactly. That's Queens. We don't consider that Long Island.
It's Long Island, man. Come on.
All right, John. So now I want to ask you this, but what do you think's going to happen?
I don't think anything's going to happen.
I do too. I'm with you there, John. I think nothing.
I think it's going to be a big one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Goose
agree.
egg.
Yeah.
0.0.
Isn't it funny that after all that conversation and this and that and checking each side of the mountain, we all looked at each other at one time and went, no.
Yeah.
Well,
so
Charles,
you're saying there's a chance.
Charles, you know what?
You're saying there's a
We're sorry. We're sorry to have wasted you.
Yeah, this show needs to be sent to like Alex Van Halen and Irving Azoff to watch, and
right. We can make it happen.
You can help them out a little bit,
Yeah.
He must work out. Oh man, that was great.
That's the guy who videotaped you while you were riding by with your hat turned sideways. John did it.
He did.
That's her name. It must be Samsonite.
Yeah, but for what it's worth, though, I think we're all kind of in agreement that it's this is probably what Satriani meant, which is I wish Newstead didn't even say anything, because things like this, I mean, God knows how many other versions of this story we don't even know about yet. If they've been talking for a year, Satriani and Alex for a year, I mean, how many other possible iterations of this show or this tour were discussed that we'll never even know about?
Right.
So,
Simon, I was just looking at your other comment up here. I mean, how cool would it be to have Patti Smythe come out there and sing like "Why Can't This Be Love"? Because she was like, Eddie wanted her to be the singer. Have her come out and do her an interpretation of like something like that. That would be cool. You know what I mean?
I would not be surprised to see her or anybody who's had anything to do.
I'd like
with
Nancy
their career.
Wilson from Heart to come out there and sing a song.
Yeah.
With Nuno playing guitar. Do you see the
There you
video
go.
of them
Yeah.
when they were jamming?
Yeah.
But
I think Simon's show next month is as close as we're going to get to this All-Star Jam.
I agree.
I just want to see Simon's video.
Yeah.
We are going to have that promo down in the description of this show and next week's until the 19th. So if you're looking for it, you can always find it here. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Yeah. So while we're talking about Simon, let's give a shout out to Andrew and Brad too, the British Electric Blues 5150 show.
There, guys.
Yeah, those guys rock. Go
Those
check
rock.
them out. Their links are always down below.
Tony, I should point out too, I talked to Simon this week, and assuming all things line up perfectly, he's still planning on trying to sync us in for our Halenville that night with their sound check or their prep for the show.
That'd be fun.
He's gonna try and stream with us live while we're on our show.
Killer.
So
that'd be so good.
Let's, here's to technology. Let's hope
right
that-
on.
Exactly.
Embrace it, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Simon live from the future.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Backstage view, little rig rundown.
Yep. He
Yeah,
promised
that'd
he's
be
gonna give a spotlight on Brad loading his gear in. That's what he told me.
So, Neil, I meant to ask you, you got anything new happening in the workshop this week?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I do. Well, first of all, I mentioned this at the beginning of the show. I want to go back again to last week's show and thank all the people that tuned in.
Yes.
For at the risk of sounding selfish, I'm very appreciative because every time we do shows like that and I get to showcase my work and stuff, I get like hits all week long about people. 90% of them don't turn out to anything, or they're works in progress, or someday they'll come back to it. But I love talking about this stuff anyway. But this week has been a good, productive week. A lot of people have reached out to me. I got a couple of new things in the works. And last week, what I didn't really get a chance to focus a whole lot on, which I meant to, was the difference between replica building and tribute guitar building. And, last week we had some spot on replica builders on the show. We had the cream of the crop.
World class.
Yes. They're
World class.
great individuals. They're great human beings, and they're damn good at what they do.
That was the idea, the kitchen sink. That's all right, Tony. I said,
yeah,
get them all in one place.
That's right. Get them all in there.
So Neil, you found that's been misconstrued before.
Yeah. And I just want to really quick kind of clear that up so that I don't make replicas. I've never once claimed that I make replicas, because in doing so, you're insinuating that you're doing about as 99.9% accurate with the build of what the guitar originally was. And the difference, so what I've been talking to certain people all week, certain customers all week about, putting their spin on things and making it, I can make it look as accurate as they want it to look, or we can do different things. I'll give you an example. One of the guitars I'm doing right now currently is a Live Without a Net era tour relic 5150, but done in purple.
Nice. Look at that.
I
Yeah.
think that's just badass, man. That's beautiful.
So this was cool. And again, let me point out too, another thing that I want to mention this because it seems to come up in my discussions a lot. When you're doing a replica, there's a certain grain that goes in the forearm wear that everybody tries to copy exactly like Ed's. If you're doing a replica, that's what you do. You have to do that. You're making a replica of Eddie's. What I do with the tour, because we're using different woods all the time, and every piece of wood has its own natural grain, with the tribute that I'm doing with this particular guitar, we let the wood have a different grain and let it show through naturally. So that is a natural wood grain that's on this. Now, it's not the same as the 5150, and I'm not trying to copy that. I'm letting that wear down naturally through, so the wood, this particular piece of wood is showing its own natural grain and that kind of thing, and that's what we're doing with this. And I'm really excited to be doing that. And then, of course, we've got we've got other 5150s that are with the same color. I don't know if you can see that kind of grain there. It's a little bit different. But this is more like a replica, even though I wouldn't call it a replica. It's more similar to Eddie's. So that's kind of just to clear up any confusion. When people come to me and want me to build them a 5150 or a Frankie or whatever, I have discussions with them to make the guitar their own, make it their own personal guitar. I want, what pickup do they like? What neck radius do they like? I'm not going to try and build them the guitar that I want them to play. I'm going to build them the guitar that they want to play. And that's what I do. So all that being said, I want to announce one of the things I'm really, really excited about, and I've been waiting a little while to do this. Actually, you can put us all back up on the panel because I want to get a reaction shot from Charles.
Was that startled?
Yeah. This is so Charles, you are one of 3 people right now that I've got orders from the same week to do a Hot for Teacher guitar.
Oh,
and Charles and I have had a lot of discussions leading up to last week's show, and then we kind of cheated and used last week's show as a soundboard. Yeah, we did. We kind of got some information from the guys in the panel. that we were using for doing our own recon, doing our own research.
Yep.
About neck radiuses, about wood types and all this stuff. We were kind of doing we were privately doing recon for his build, but
sneaky guys.
We worked out all the details, and I actually had a discussion with Chris Locke today about poplar and basswood and things. We were talking about some things, but bottom line is Charles and I are going forward now on a current up-to-date relic version of the Hot for Teacher guitar. And I don't want to spoil one big surprise. I'm going to save that for the end, but we've communicated with somebody special that's going to actually sign the headstock, and I'm just going to leave it there.
Ooh.
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
yeah. So that's what we got going on, and that's what I've got going on in the workshop. In a week or two, I'll probably be able to show people the project Tony and I are doing, which is another completely original, one-off, one-of-a-kind, one-of-one guitar that I'm excited about showcasing as well.
It's as custom gets.
Yeah.
It's custom.
Funny. I was walking through like Lowe's, like Home Depot Lowe's last night.
I'm there every day.
Hey, I bet. And it had like 3M like electrical tape in the electrical section, and then all different colors of it. And I thought of that guitar. I go, oh, I wonder how Tony's guitar is coming out. I want to find.
Yep, they sell those. The exact same ones. They sell the pack. It's like orange, blue, white, yellow. Like they sell them there. Like
right.
I'm like one-stop shopping at Lowe's.
What other cars coming along?
Yeah.
So let's get to the bottom of this. So Charles, Hot for Teacher guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about this.
Well,
I would have never guessed it. I went
into the show last week, open-minded. Well, not totally open-minded. I knew that I wanted either a Hot for Teacher, or I was going to do just a standard 5150. It was going to be one or the other. And as into this stuff as I am, I actually found some things out from the show last week. There is only one 5150. All the other versions are just versions of a similar guitar. And so I've always loved Eddie's solo in Hot for Teacher. I've always loved that video. That video is actually, in my heart, the end of an age for Van Halen. The beginning of the end of an age for Van Halen. And it sort of marks the end of the Roth era. And so it's a very special guitar. It has a very special place in my heart for a couple other reasons, one of which we're going to show you guys later. I won't disclose it right now. And did I do that good, Neil? I did that pretty good.
Yeah, you did that very well. Very well.
And
stick to the script.
The thing about it is the actual specs on the guitar, we're keeping them basically, I guess we'll call it traditional. Is that a good word, Neil?
Yeah.
Traditional? Yeah. And I'm totally okay with that. My ear can't tell the difference really between a JB and a Super Distortion DiMarzio. I really can't tell the difference that much. So I'm not that picky when it comes to things like that. I want playability. I want tuning stability, playability. That's what I'm really, focusing on. At the same time, Neil has this gift for making guitars just beautiful. He makes my Frankie and Tony's Frankie. Those guitars are absolutely gorgeous. They have sentimental value because they're sister brother guitars. Mm-hmm. So I get to have that thing with Tony, which is just priceless. But they're really great instruments. They play absolutely fantastic. And I mean fantastic. That's really the benchmark with the guitar when I order it and want a guitar of this nature. I'm going to want playability, tuning stability, first and foremost. It's got to be pretty. Headstock. I was going to do a reverse hockey stick headstock. There's a part of me that still kind of wishes I did, but I decided to go with the traditional Hot for Teacher, and just about every sense of the word. There'll be a couple of things about it that aren't spot on because it's a a tribute and not a replica. So, yeah, I'm excited. And there's some things to show in the future that are going to be just really special to me, really special to Neil, really special to you guys because you're all part of this. And we'll just keep it in the family. That's what we're going to do.
You know, I want to actually, you know, capitalizing on that last comment, keeping it in the family. I just want to add how, you know, every guitar I make, I do consultations with my buyers. I talk to them. I find out, you know, I get to know what the kind of music they like, what kind of guitars they like, what outside of the Van Halen world, what do they listen to? What do they play like? This kind of stuff, because I want to get to know them as much as possible so that I'm giving them the perfect guitar for them. And in doing so, I end up making friends with a lot of the people that I've sold guitars to that I stay in contact with. And then they come back to me for seconds. And then we have conversations. We just shoot the breeze back and forth.
Sure.
But there's two things that I'm really excited about for this one. Actually, three. There's three things that I'm super excited about. Number one, the most obvious being that it's Charles, and you're a friend of mine, and we go way back. You know, you're not somebody that just contacted me and said, "Hey, I saw you on a video. Let's make a guitar." You're a friend.
Yeah.
Number two, this is the second guitar you bought from me, which means I did something right the first time. Which
it won't be the last either, Neil.
No. But I mentioned it's also that also holds me to a certain standard too, because you're making me elevate my game as well. The competitor in me says, well, this one's got to be better. And that's just the way my mind operates.
By the way, we've got Simon in the chat. Simon, this is how I put it to Neil. I said, I want a guitar that you would sell to Simon Hosford. That's I literally just straight like that. Because I know that'll be everything, the whole package. So
that's exactly what
also another thing, Neil, you've got not only has Simon Hosford got a guitar that I've heard him play and will continue to hear him play on stage. I heard Adam Roach. He put up a video, a bunch of photos and video on Facebook. I just saw it like 2 days ago.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah.
And he played the guitar, the Tiger that you built him.
Yep.
We call it Tiger because that's what he named it.
Yep.
And I watched him bust out a blistering solo. It was face melting.
Yep.
Adam Roach kicks ass on guitar. I'm just going to say it like that.
Yeah.
And he did it on a guitar that you built.
Yeah.
Now, the bar's set really high, and guys, don't expect me to meet either one of those two guys, okay? It ain't going to happen.
Then
having a guitar that you built, that you also built for these guys, is priceless, Neil.
Well, number three, though, the third thing about this, and this, I want to be careful how I phrase this so I don't disqualify other people that are interested. I get joy and put passion into every single guitar I build. But the reality is I do a lot of the same guitars. And a lot of people, that's what's in demand. Those are what is asked of me. So I put a lot of that into it. I will be totally honest with you. I get my juices flowing when I get to do something outside the box a little bit. And I don't do many Hot for Teachers. I don't do many of the Vitas Gerolitis or the auction giveaway. You know, it inspires creatively. It gets me flowing. It gets me my juices going. So I'm excited to do something new. And then the next time I come back and do somebody's 5150, I'm refreshed and I'm ready to go again. So it works on all cylinders. But this is going to be a lot of fun.
I'm super excited. I'm excited for Tony's guitar that's coming.
So am I. Same for all the same
so our
reasons.
Futures have a lot of great unboxings.
Yeah.
Some really good surprises. I mean, great surprises. And the future's bright, guys.
Yeah.
So Charles, I don't think you're giving us enough hints about the other stuff that's going to be involved.
Like that, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I told Neil. I'll tell the chat. I'll tell everybody. I don't keep a lot from Tony. There's not much that I don't tell Tony. I mean, there's a couple of things, but I tell him pretty much everything. We talk. I'm not even telling him.
So, dude. I'm excited as I can be. I don't want you to tell me. Don't tell me.
No, you don't want me to tell you, bro.
No.
You don't.
No, you guys don't. We've told you enough about it to get you excited. We don't need to spoil the cherry on top.
That's right, man. Love this community. This is fantastic community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Hot for Teacher guitar, Charles. Wow.
I always dug that guitar, Charles.
It's always been my favorite.
I
It
like
really has.
It's like
It really
a little more minimalistic. That's what we were talking about. I always thought that was a Paul Unkert that he built that one because the double necks have it's more minimalist with the striping patterns on the double necks, and that's the same kind of style. That's why I always thought that he did that.
There
He
are so
probably
many, there's actually, and once we get a chance to reveal it, Charles, we'll go into the details of the guitar, but there's so many tiny, minute details that make it exciting and stuff. Like, for example, the obvious one that nobody pays attention to, and so it gets overlooked, is the headstock was painted on the back too. There's stripes that go all the way around. And that was one of maybe 2 or 3 Kramers that did that.
And the volute has it's just badass. Look,
yeah, there's so many cool little details that are fun when you get into it. When it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
my favorite picture is of the one of Eddie's. It was in New York in the hotel room. He's wearing the red suit and he's sitting on the bed in the hotel room. You know what I'm talking about? It's in the 1984 tour, and he's playing that one in there. I love that's my favorite picture of that guitar.
Yes. Dwight Bailey's in the house. The Hitman is in the house, and Gretsch Zeppelin. I saw him earlier. I want to say hey to him. Good to see you guys.
Right on. Good.
Cool. The Hot for Teacher. Wow.
I like it.
Yeah. I do too. So John, you were talking earlier about some upcoming shows in the cooker.
Yeah, we got a big one coming up next week. We still not gonna say anything, right, Tony?
No.
Oh, are you guys doing that to us? Are you gonna keep secrets then?
It does work both ways, Neil. It's all good. Okay.
No.
At least we get to be here.
Tony, when did I first bring this one up? This has been a long time.
Yeah,
it's been coordinating it. It's been a long time. I don't want to get people, it's very Van Halen related, among other things, and I think it's a big deal. Everybody should, because this guy, we'll say it's a guy, is not just with Van Halen. It's just it's going to be a great show, man. Really cool show.
Yeah.
Are you going to Australia to see Simon?
Yeah, I wish.
So do I.
But Simon's going to dig this show. I guarantee you that. He's going to dig this show too. And it's going to be great. It really is.
Yes, good stuff.
This might be my favorite one out of them all, I think. I have a feeling.
It's got the potential. Definitely.
Yeah. Right, and I can just tell from his personality, from the interactions I've had with him already. Let's just put it this way. People from the country he's from are always like the greatest people.
Wow,
so,
man.
they just are. It's just, think of a country where everybody's just so cool, and that's where this guy's from. So,
and he's right. They are.
Totally cool. So, but we're gonna have a lot to talk about, and it's did
you just mute yourself?
No, Tony muted me.
No, not me. I didn't mute you.
The host has unmuted your mic. And I just said
not me.
I just said his name too.
No, you did not. You muted. You're full of shit.
No. But yeah.
Well played, John. That was well played.
Yeah, so we had to really, this has been going back for over a month that I've been talking to him and trying to get a date set for this, and he's a very busy guy. Let's put it that way. He's very well known, well sought after, and he's a very busy guy. So he had to keep pushing it off, canceled one and push it here. And he wrote it in, on the calendar, and he's like, and he contacted me today before I contacted him because I wanted to make sure we were still a go. And it's just going to be a great show. And it's a listening party too. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. That I was going to say, we'll give them one hint. This is going to be our third interactive listening party.
Diving down on. We did Fair Warning with Chris Gill. Diver Down with Greg Renoff, and can't tell you the piece of music or the guest, but
Yeah.
But they're related. That's all we'll say.
They are.
They're related. So
Yeah. But
But
that'll be next
don't
week,
miss
the
this show. It's
27th.
going to be a good one.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. A little bit of work to do between now and then.
Yeah. And then for the next month straight after that, pretty much now it's all lining up that we're going to have like a lot of good shows. People are going to, if they like last week's, we're going to have some more of that kind of flavor from last week's with some great guests. I mean, yeah, we're going to be covering a lot of ground, doing some really cool shows.
We set the bar pretty high now. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's getting higher and higher and higher.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
good.
I'm happy to be a part of it, man. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but definitely next week is going to be. I'm excited for that for the next show.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna. Yeah.
All right.
Is it Jason Newstead?
It's the entire Rangers hockey team.
You read my mind. I was about to say somebody from that interview. It was going to be somebody from the interview.
Exactly.
I chose Newstead. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But
you guys are gonna dig it.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, some cool stuff coming up. Let me see something real quick. Hang on, and I'll show you something. All right.
It was going to be Alex Van Halen next week, but then Newstead blew it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. His agent called to cancel his booking.
From a different country, it could be, right?
From Holland.
Yeah. So in a couple of weeks or so, date to be announced, I guess, at this point. Let me load this in and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Yeah, so right on. So here in a couple of weeks, we're going to spotlight a Van Halen tribute band. Okay? So been wanting to do this a while now, and we're going to invite the band that rules. These guys.
There you go.
I know that guy.
Ready.
Yes,
Nice.
sir.
I cannot wait for this show.
We're going to have them all here.
This is going to be too much fun.
And
that's not even him wearing a costume.
So we're gonna find out all about the ins and outs of how they started the band and everything, all the backstage and the costumes and everything, and how they kept it going, and can't wait for that.
Hey Joe, whose Bumblebee was that you were playing in that picture?
It was a nice one.
Yeah, whose Bumblebee was that? I know you mentioned it once before.
Like that.
Oh, was that Rob Johnson's maybe?
Joe? It looked like an EVH actually.
It takes a couple.
You're right at the end of the neck.
With the notch at the bottom of the neck. Yeah.
Oh, it's his. Wow, there you go. Look at you. Wow. Nice.
For anybody,
nice
if anybody,
guitar.
I've gotten this. Yeah, it's an EVH. I've a few people have probably seen Joe rehearse. You know, he's actually streamed live during his rehearsals for the show and everything.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, can he play? And just like, I could watch him for hours. So that'll be really cool to have him on.
Yeah. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I wish they could play. I wish they could jam. You know.
Yeah.
I know.
So they definitely have it dialed in for that sound, you know.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's YouTube videos and stuff that people can always refer to also.
Yeah.
And he's got one of the greatest, most beat to hell 5150s ever.
Yeah, it does.
That thing is put in work.
They're telling me, Joe's telling me that they got a new video and photo shoot coming up. So
Excellent.
maybe
Excellent.
maybe the stars will line up there and we can
Oh, nice.
get a peek of that. Yeah. Can't wait for that.
Wow. Can't wait.
But yeah, while it's on my mind, Simon will have the link to your promo down here in the show by the time that we get off here.
I don't want to put a kibosh on anything here, but I've seen what you're talking about. They set the bar even higher than the last show they did. I think they've even perfected their sound a little bit. On the snippets I've heard, I'm anticipating this big time. It's going to be huge. Huge.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to give too much away, but Simon has told me some of the special effects, I guess, if you want to call them, some things that they're doing for the night of the show.
Yeah.
And man, oh man, it's going to be a show. It's not just a bunch of guys playing music. It's a show. Like
excellent. Simon, I'm asking him backstage what they are, bro.
I'm going to grab some tea real quick. I'll be right back.
If Simon wants me to talk about it, I can, but I'll leave a lot of that for him. But he's got some really cool things happening in concert with the concert.
Very cool.
So
they've got guests.
They got guests. They've got. I mean, they're just. It's going to be a show. It's going to be a rock show. It's an entertainment event, I think, is the best way I would call it.
What I like so much about it, though, is they are covering the music like the music is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're not changing things up. They're not, because it's nice to have people do versions of songs that we know and put their own spin on it and everything. That's always wonderful to see. But what he's bringing is straight up Van Halen. Right there, it's Van Halen. It's not any wash to it. Everyone who steps on that stage, at least from what I've seen so far,
no, you're right.
It does Eddie Van Halen and Van Halen justice, and that's really what's most important.
For anybody who hasn't seen the little the trailer, the teaser there, I'll tell you, it's like a feel good type of. It just when you're done watching it, you're like, yeah. It's like you can't wait. You got to see more. It puts you in a good mood. So I think that was really well executed.
And read the comments, the what do you call it, testimonials from the people that he quotes. There's some people that are giving Simon kudos, and well deserved, but it lets you know he's the real deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got to watch it. Everybody's got to watch that tonight.
Yeah.
Joe just watched it. I just watched it, John. Joe Gerard just watched it. So cool. Good. Yeah, everybody go watch that, definitely. Yeah. Awesome. Can't wait.
Excellent.
How's everything all right with COVID down there? You guys, is it going to happen, or is there going to be
non-existent for us?
Yeah.
Exactly. There is no COVID right now. We're cool. Right. Everybody's, you see somebody with a mask on, they look, I don't mean to say this in a negative way, but it looks a little odd when you see someone with a mask on. I looked at a guy the other day. I'm in a group of, my God, there was 100 people around us in a Lowe's. I was in a Lowe's, 100 people everywhere. And there's one person with one mask on. And I thought to myself, you're either really, really, maybe you have a medical reason why you've got to have it on, which, obviously understand that. Yeah. But it just looks a little odd now. Nobody's wearing a mask.
Today, we don't need them on a plane here. Today. We don't know about tomorrow.
Really?
I'm just wondering how it is down in Melbourne. We're all good, John. There's COVID down here for sure, but no one the shit anymore, as it should be. Yeah. All right, Simon.
Yeah, Simon actually told me just yesterday or the day before. He said specifically the way he said that now they're finally kind of just likening it to a cold. He said just about everybody's vaxxed, and so people are going to get it, and you go on with your life. So
good.
Hopefully it'll stay, and well, we'll see.
But he said they're pretty much locked in, though. He can't foresee anything. God, knock on wood. I really hope I didn't But he said they're pretty much locked in with that date, and they're going forward, and it's all systems go, man.
Excellent.
Right on. So, speaking of that, the Mammoth, they canceled the last of those dates, but they have added more dates in May. Yeah.
You say Charleston is the closest it's going to get to us?
Yeah, let me bring it up. All right. Let's see here. All right. So we knew about the June dates there that start in Europe. They're doing dates with Scorpions and Kiss through the summer. And yeah. All right. So, but they've since added dates 29 of April, May 10, May 11, May 13th, May 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 21, and yeah.
Yeah.
So Maryland Heights, Daytona Beach, Charleston, Chattanooga, Springfield, Wichita. Yeah.
Maryland Heights.
Do we know anything about? Are they going to have an opener? Do we know who it is? I mean, I assume they will. Do we know who they're bringing out with them?
I searched all those dates, and they are booked with another band on one of them, but the only one that's listed is them on the others. There's a festival that we should have looked at, but it's a bunch of acts on,
Yeah.
and that's, I don't know, what is that? Not Rock on the Mountain, but they're not M3, but they're playing one of them. Maybe it's the Maryland Heights, Tommy.
I think that is a festival type scenario.
Yeah. But so he'll be doing those dates before going overseas. But no other news and word about their health. Hopefully everything's behind them and they'll scoot back out on the freeway, and that'll be that.
Well, you got to assume, if once the date, I mean, there's a lot of things involved with booking shows for a band that big. So you got to assume that everything's good, that they're fine, that the tour is ready to commence and go back. Otherwise, they wouldn't risk throwing them back out there and have to cancel again. So,
yeah. Well, I'll get to see them one day. Yeah. I'm almost scared to buy tickets. Every time we buy tickets to a show, whether it's Kiss or, gosh, it's canceled.
Yeah, but the irony is, of all of us that have seen them on this tour, you guys were closer in proximity to the band than anybody was.
There you go.
They just didn't play that night.
I
know, that's what I'm saying. They just didn't play, but you saw them.
That's not a good trade.
I don't even care. I just go.
I love that. That's why I got to hang out with you guys, because it would be enough material for a whole new book for me.
Yeah.
By the way, don't even get me started on your book, man. I've got some thoughts and
yeah, and your brother and the Easter Bunny too.
Yeah, the Easter Bunny.
We need to talk, Neil.
And the cross.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Well-
knew there was some reason why my brother turned against religion.
I had it on my desk in my room, and my dad picked it up when I got home from the hospital, and basically was like, "Wait, is this a real story, or is this just someone's movie like that they wrote, or is it a little bit of both?" And I'm like, "It is what it is."
Yep, that's exactly right. That's exactly
Your
right.
book has the most Van Halen moment I've probably ever experienced in a book. Can I share it with you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
please do.
You make some really great observations about a lot of different actors in the book, and times that you've met people and this and that. It's read the book, you guys. But there's one section where he talks about Rambo,
Oh,
and think what you will of Rambo. Rambo, the movie, Rambo 1 was at the time unbelievably iconic. It was so huge. And
Such a good movie.
there's a scene in the movie where he's cornered by the sheriffs and he's literally hanging on the edge of this cliff. He's got nowhere to go. He can't go anywhere. He's either going to, well, they're not even going to take it. They're going to kill him. So he looks down off at the top of these trees as he's looking down a couple of 100 feet easily into this gorge. And he has an option. He can either get shot or he can jump. And so he takes a Van Halen move and he jumps, man. It's the most iconic jump at the time in movie history. We've all seen it.
Yeah.
Landmark, and probably the most Van Halen moment I could think of in your book so far, Neil. Hey, all roads lead, bro. They all lead there.
They really do.
Sometimes you just might as well jump, bro. That's all I'm saying. So
They really do.
That's it. You got that right.
That is back against the right machine, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought that song that the lyric was a guy on a rooftop about to jump. You know, might as well jump.
Tom, you'll have to tell me someday what your dad says about the book.
Yeah, I'll have to get his full insight.
Yeah. No, it's kind of funny though. You just read the greatest compliment that I can get from anybody that reads my book is when they give me a look like, "There's no way that happened." Wait, did it? Like that reaction is because people are like, knowing Neil, that stuff might have happened. Like that, honestly, it seems like if you put that on paper, people would be like, "There's no way it happened." But they know me, and they're like, "No, that might have happened." That's the greatest compliment that I can.
It happened.
Yeah, it happened.
Cool. Hey, one of the kicks I get out of reading, it doesn't matter. And the book is literally, you just open it to whatever page you want, you'll find a short story. It's a lot of short stories. A couple of them are a little lengthy, but for the most part, it's a page or two. And man, you can read it. And as you're reading it, you can actually, especially if you know Neil, you can put yourself in the story. And it's priceless because I've been on some adventures with Neil, and just like you guys can, you should check out the book. It's pretty cool, man.
But these short stories, they're very.
Oh, thanks, John. It's not in the bathroom.
Back here with me now.
You must really like it.
Yes.
They're just long enough and just short enough.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, there you go, Tommy. Thank you. Well, thank you guys. Yeah, I tried to, we've talked about this before. There are a few epic adventures that needed multiple chapters. Look at this. Wow. I'm impressed
the ball's in my court.
Business cards, bookmarkers, bro.
There you go. Wow, look at that. Look at that.
Well, I keep those there. Anytime I want to tear you up with some points, I'll just, flip a couple of pages open and we'll camp out. I love that book, Neil. I love it. Absolutely.
Well, the vampire Rick Springfield.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesse's
I found
Girls.
it. It's not in the bathroom.
Never ages. You're right, Neil. Never ages.
I'm telling you, that whole thing happened. It was like, there you go. Everybody's got a copy. I'm seriously impressed.
Oh,
I'm
Neil.
Seriously impressed.
Guess what? I just, I'll give you an update. I don't know why I'm doing this to the chat, but we're all family. What the hell?
Yeah, why not?
So December 4th, last year, I ordered everyone Christmas shirts. The only person who didn't get their gift was you. I got a notification like 3 days after Christmas saying that it had been put on back order or some whatever it was. They've communicated with me 6-7 times now because I refuse to give up. I want you to have the shirt I wanted to get you, and it was put back into production. I got a notification today. You should have it in 7 to 9 days from now.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
Due diligence pays off because it's the shirt I want you to have. I could have easily just changed it out, but I didn't want to do that.
I remember when you told me that you felt bad and you said, "Hey, look, I can't get it. I'll get you something else and everything." And then you and I talked, and you came up with on your own. You were like, "You know what? I really don't want to replace it with something else. I picked this out for a reason."
Yeah, it's all you, man.
So I'm excited.
And you're the only gift of everybody. I got something for Christmas. You're the only one that didn't get delivered. And so I just wanted
I was bad last year.
Yeah. Hey, that's okay. You're good.
That's
now.
my goal.
You're good now.
Hey, bro,
Change.
The shirt you got me, man, is like so soft. It's the Dirty Honey one.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
So my son stole it, so I'll try and get it back next washing.
Excellent. That's so cool.
Whenever they find either one of my two sons are close enough in size that if it's like, a big enough t-shirt or if it's a sweatshirt or whatever, like, oh, I like this. I'm going to take this and wear it to school.
Excellent.
Steal my stuff.
Excellent.
But it's funny because my younger son is thinner than me and my older son, but not much shorter. And he's got, just jujitsu and stuff. He has really wide back from doing a lot of jiu-jitsu, and so we can wear a lot of the same if they're over garments, if you will. We can wear the a lot of the same stuff, so all my stuff always just disappears.
That's awesome, though.
I remember that. I remember I was probably like maybe 7th grade when I figured out I could probably kind of fit into my dad's clothes, and without telling him, I would steal random shit. And the funny thing is now I still to this day remember the things that I chose to wear to school, and I'm like embarrassed. I'm like, why the hell did I choose that to wear?
Trying stuff out, yeah.
Yeah, but there was something at that age, something kind of cool about feeling like you could wear your dad's clothes. There it is. Is that Amazon? Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
That's worth every flipping dime, dude.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. Good stories for sure.
Mets lost today, Johnny.
Yeah, I know, Tony. I just saw it.
If you put it in your bathroom to read, for your reading material when you're having meetings in there, your legs are gonna fall asleep because you'll get into it. Trust me. And you just you'll be like, pins and needles, pins and needles, pins and needles.
I've had a bunch of people tell me that they'll bookmark the long stories that are multiple chapters, and they'll save those for like bedtime reading. And then the ones when they're sitting in the bathroom, they're like, find the 1-page stories, the 2-page stories, the musings, the random thoughts that, those.
I didn't want to go there, but
no, I broke it up that way on purpose, though. I said there's no chronology to the stories; they're just random. I put short, long, just all over the place, so you can literally pick up the book at any point and read something. It doesn't matter where you pick it up. So
excellent. Hey, speaking of books, we got a big book coming up here pretty soon. I've been expecting it.
Yeah.
Mr. Rosen, I'm anticipating his book. I don't want to let the fire die. I'm going to mention it because we got a lot of great stuff coming up, you guys, in the next weeks and next couple of months and stuff. Just really great stuff. Whew, it's almost like Christmas.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in Steve Rosen's place right now and see how many books he's going to have to sign and send himself, because he said he's doing it all himself. So there's going to be thousands.
The latest I'm hearing on Steve's book is that he has added 3 chapters, and a lot of crucial stuff is how I'm hearing it.
Cool.
A lot of crucial stuff, and it's I guess with that addition, it's sent to printers. You know.
Very nice.
That's good
Very
stuff.
nice, man.
So looking forward to that.
Very, very cool.
Oh
Very cool,
goodness, yeah.
I can't wait to read it and talk to Steve about it.
I know.
No.
God, that's almost better than the book.
I know. Well,
I don't know,
think about it.
60-40, 60-40. I don't know. You choose.
No, think about how fun it'll be because to come full circle because he was on our show when he announced the book. So it'll be so great to have him after we've read it and talk about it. Like that'll be like such a great journey that he chose to go with us on.
Yeah. Yeah. He's definitely got a lot of books to sign.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
He
and to be honest with you, I think it's a credit to the overwhelming demand and whatnot that he's got, that he probably added those 3 chapters in. I think that he might have even been, and again, I'm speculating. I don't mean to put words in his mouth, but I think he probably saw the number of people that pre-ordered and said, hey, I've got more material. I didn't know if I was going to use it, but if people want it, if everybody wants it, I'll put it in there. And
the fact he's selling it himself and he's tweaking it right up to the very end.
Yeah.
It's so Steve Rosen, first of all.
Sure.
We're getting the absolute greatest stuff ever from this man. It's his life work.
Yeah, that's the key word right there. This is his life's work, and you know, so yeah, but that'll be, gosh, waiting on that. That'll be a treat. Yeah.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm getting at that time where the dogs are scratching at the door, so I'm gonna have to bounce out.
All right, Neil.
Neil, be well, brother.
I appreciate you guys. Charles, Tony, we will talk guitars next time. I might have something more to show about Tony's guitar. John, rock on.
Hopefully.
And Tom, love you guys. Love everybody in the chat.
Man.
I'll see you guys next week.
All right,
See you
Neil.
guys all next
See
week.
you later.
See you, brother. All right.
All right, Neil Daly, man. Excellent.
Yeah, dude.
Excellent.
All right. Let's run some trivia. How about it?
Sounds good.
Some Van Halen trivia for
we got Tone Talk in the chat. It's good to see you.
Welcome.
Good to see you, man. Right there.
So
Hey, Mark. Are you Mark?
I haven't shown these guys this question yet, I don't think.
Nope.
I showed Sandra, but yeah. So it'll be in your best interest if you know about the Van Halen 3 era tonight. All right. So this question is kind of a multi-word question. When I run it, you'll understand. I'm going to take the best and the most accurate answer of what we're looking for. Okay? Now, we're going to chunk you out a fair warning pass. But for tonight, if you kids have won a fair warning pass already, if you haven't, that's what we're playing for. But if you've already won a fair warning pass, and these guys, they know they're Van Halen, so it's tough to get anything past them, we're going to sneak you one of these in a padded envelope, and that's what it looks like on the back.
Nice.
get the chord, you get the... I don't have many of those, but I'm going to give you one if you've already won a fair warning pass tonight. Email me your name and address. If you are the winner, there's an email address down below. Trivia winner's email. Yeah. So how about that, kids? You've already won a fair warning pass. Might be your night. Let's do this. All right. Thank you, Sandra. All right, kids. Here we go. Ready, tight. Van Halen Trivia, April 20th, 2022. Here we go. In 1998, on the Van Halen 3 tour, Ed used a certain guitar to play Fire in the Hole. Describe this guitar. Describe it. I need at least 3 different characteristics. I'll take 4. Okay. There's going to be your Randy Price got. There it is, right there.
Nice job, Randy.
Bam.
You rock, brother.
Right on, Randy.
Very well done.
And thanks for being here. Nice to see you, dude.
Yeah. Very cool.
And that is exactly right. Let me fetch this Cream Wolfgang special with a trans tram. Yes, sir. That's what he used to play it.
It's hard to get anything by these guys.
I know.
It is so tough.
I know. Let me see. Yeah. So, Randy, email me your stuff. I'll send you a cool fair warning pass, dude. And thanks for being here.
Very
Thanks
cool,
for
man.
watching.
Very
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Kids, I think we're going to wrap things up and wind things down. You got anything else, John?
Nothing. Just a big couple weeks coming up. Gonna have like about 4 shows in a row. Like a good one, big one. Boom, 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 boom. That's pretty much it, right?
Right on. Yeah.
Man.
We but yeah, so we'll be right back here next Wednesday, and that is April the 27th. We have got a big guest next week right here on the show.
Yep.
Yeah. So please
Fantastic.
check it out. We are super excited about this. And I trust you will thoroughly enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But this will be a diving down on interactive listening party. So we get to have that fun too. But this may be a long show, but you guys are gonna dig this. I wish I could tell them more now, guys, but you know, yeah.
Probably could. Probably safe. His schedule is very booked, so I don't think we don't have to worry about anything with that. But
yeah, no, but we'll.
I would tell you guys. Tony won't tell you guys. I would tell you, but but that's me. I'm stupid.
We'll keep it under. You'll find out next weekend. You'll see the stuff.
Actually, yeah. Actually, this weekend coming up. You know what?
Well,
how about we can tell him Friday night maybe.
Well,
we could, right?
Yeah, but
we could.
What it's going to be is next week's episode here. We will have a interactive listening party, but we are going to record this episode Friday late sometimes due to, I can't say why, but it will be set as a premiere in its entirety that will air next Wednesday night, April 27th at 9 p.m. Eastern, our regular time slot. But
so we'll all be able to be in the chat while it's airing.
Correct. That's right. There'll be a live chat, so it'll be recorded, but it'll be like we're there. Plus, we'll be in the chat too. Yeah,
it's so confusing.
But it sounds fun.
It will be. Yeah.
I'm excited for the next few months. There's all kinds of great stuff on the horizon.
Yeah. There is a couple of good ones here in the works with some really awesome guests. And some good topics too. And while we're talking about it, if you haven't voted already, on my YouTube community page, there's a poll from a couple of days ago about suggestions for subjects for Halenville Live episodes. So there's a bunch of choices, but yeah, go over there and cast your vote if you haven't already. Yeah, we want to hear what you have to say and what you think and what you want to see. Yeah. But yes, you definitely will see more guitar roundtable style forums. You'll see those.
I mean, you could kind of talk about those a little bit, I guess, right? Those are definitely going to happen. Those are definitely going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So last week we did the show on the 5150 guitar, and we're going to do one in the works with special guest to be announced on the Frankie. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Very cool.
Yeah. Some very knowledgeable Frankie people.
Yes.
We're going full nerd again is what we're doing.
Everybody
full
knows.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to let the cat out of the bag on that, but that's going to be fun.
We're also gonna tackle the Floyd Rose too. That's gonna be a whole other show.
Yeah,
we're gonna give because I mean that's a real important part of Van Halen too. So just important piece of guitar technology and an important part of Van Halen. So we're gonna have a show dedicated to the Floyd Rose with some very special guests. It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. Yeah.
Next level, man.
That is going to be a good show, and it's just on the Floyd Rose.
Yeah, and as well as that, we're gonna circle back and do another show about replica building. Neil's going to be here. Obviously, Neil's going to be on it, and we're going to have a couple of other special guests on there, talking about relicking and like Carl said, he picked up a lot of stuff from last week about relic, about how that they're done. So we're going to have a couple of great guests for that too, and we'll circle back around. Touch back on the 5150 and the Frankie, and then every other Van Halen replica that people build too. We'll touch on that in that show too. So it'll be pretty good. We should have it all covered. It should be a nice, if anybody's looking for any information, they should be able to just come to this channel and view some of the shows here, pick up a lot of information.
Excellent.
We hope.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. We've got some great guests and some great subject matter coming up here in the weeks to come. Yeah. And we're ironing out so we are 4:20 today.
By the way, Tommy, I love your backdrop, bro. Excellent. Excellent.
So yeah, here in a couple of weeks, we're gonna have these guys with us.
That's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So please stay tuned. You'll see the cards posted in the days prior to it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting us here. We talk Van Halen here every Wednesday night. It's nothing but Van Halen,
Yep.
So we appreciate you being here. Appreciate you watching.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
Guys, be well.
Let me check one or two things before we. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right, kids. You got anything else, Tommy?
I'm good.
All right. Okay. We'll be right back here on the channel this Saturday talking guitar picks on Show Me Your Pick with the live crew right there. We'll be talking Molly Hatchet, Little Southern Rock this coming Saturday. Yeah, the weekend. But otherwise, we'll be right back here next Wednesday for all things Van Halen. And yeah. All right. So Tommy and John and Neil and Charles, on behalf of all of us, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your week. And be well. Hope to see you next Wednesday.
Take care, you all.
All right. Are you going to play us out again tonight?
I don't know. Chuck, you got anything to say?
I want to give a shout out to Lenny Lou, sweetheart. I want you to get well and feel better. We think about you every day and love you. Analog Kid, I can't tell you how much I miss you. Can't wait to have you back. We all want you back here. Well,
yes.
Don't forget, this is Halenville, you guys, and every single road up in here leads to Van freaking Halen right there, okay? Have a great week. Be well. And rock on.
Right on.